Much like a psychopath waiting for a shoe drop, I watched all of Squid Game Season 2. Now, I want to point something out very immediately as soon as I begin this entire just miasma of thought that is going through my brain and cavalcating through my mind. It was not as good as Squid Game Season 1. I believe the newness of Squid Game Season 1 is what would the captivating aspect of that was. I had no expectations for this. I did not think that the main character, Ji-hyun, was in any capacity going to actively end the games. That was his big goal. That's the big plot thing going on throughout the entire thing here. And if you don't want spoilers, exit now, because I'm going to give you spoilers galore. If you finish like me and you are a psychopath, I'm going to just give my entire thoughts about the entire thing. No, this will not be cohesive. Yes, this will be just complete word garbage. Just get ready for this nonsense. Let me tell you something very immediately right quick. Thanos. Thanos is my favorite character. Now, is he good? No. Is he likable? Not really. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. He's not truly likable. But throughout the entirety of this, I watched it 2 times. That's right. 1, boom. Squid Game 2, Electric Boogaloo. I came back. I'm a 9/11 second responder. I came back twice. I was so excited seeing Thanos. I watched it twice, once in English and then once in Korean. Now, the first time watching in English because I was doing nonsense tasks in the background, but then I heard Thanos try to rap, and I thought to myself, wow, I gotta hear this in Korean. I really do. I have to hear this in a native tongue. Gotta hear what he says. Little did I know, he started speaking just random English in some of his words. Thank you. Oh, baby boy, what's going on? I was super excited about that. Don't know why. If you inject an Asian character and have him speak a little bit of English, he's gonna become my favorite immediately. Now, I don't know why our main character thought for 2 seconds that he even had a shot in the dark. This just left more unanswered questions, and I hate when shows do this. They leave me hanging on a thread, making me beg, suckling at the teat for more, because we left on an immense cliffhanger. Let's start off with the points that I appreciated so much. Strong start to the entire thing. Episode 1, what he's been using his money for. He's trying to get a coalition or army. The police will help him because they need evidence. That's how Korean police work. I have no idea. I'm not in Korea. I don't know how that operates, but that's exactly what's going on. He needs help. He needs people. He needs people to help him out. So he's having these old mob boss, the person who owed debt to, the loan sharks, he's giving money to them in order to shill it out. Guys, I need your help to find this man who indoctrinated me into the game. Now, the season started off crazy strong. Taking out the guy through a game of Russian roulette, rock, paper, scissors combination. That was amazing. The luck that player 456, Ji-hyun, had was outstanding. I don't want to point this out. He's the only name I really remember. There were too many names. I'm not even going to lie to you. Him and player 1. So, if you remember in the original Squid Game, player 1 was a covert op. He was actually the person that originally started Squid Game. That's what it was. And I don't know how our boy got tricked twice by the same player 1. He got tricked 2 times. Boom, boom. Whoa, hold up a second. 2 times. Went back. He loved it so much he went back. Got tricked to Electric Boogaloo. He got tricked twice. And I'm beginning to question his genius. Maybe he's a little bit insane because he's having night terrors thinking about all the people that passed and tragedy, all the horrible things that have happened. And it is depressing. Episode 2, strong start. Loved it. It felt like hopeful. It felt hopeful. But I know that because this show is dealing with pure money and greed, the bad guy always wins. Just like in real life. You may think that you watch these shows and you see the bad guy losing. And you think to yourself, oh man, well, I wish life was like that. Morality always wins. This is real life. Squid Game shows a very real look and aspect into the real world of how it would work if somebody with money tried to go against somebody without money. You would lose. 9 times out of 10, you would get annihilated. You would get destroyed. You don't have the resources. They have all these booby traps, everything set up, ready. Even the infrastructure on the inside, the people that are going against them, they still have ways to go against them. Squid Game Season 2 was absolutely phenomenal. Now, are there characters I felt personally attached to? Yes. I felt personally attached to the trans woman. Felt attached to her. She was amazing. I felt personally attached to the mother and son. Those characters were absolutely amazing. I love Thanos. He is the greatest character of all time. Don't at me. Don't at me. Thanos is the greatest thing to ever exist. I appreciate him deeply. The true horror of the show is not the aspect of the games in themselves. It is the separation of choosing one team versus the other. What greed can truly do to melt the mind. I don't know why. Our boy player 456 thought he could stop the corporate greed or even stop ignoring the corporate greed, the greed of humanity. When people are down their luck, they will do anything. That's why the lottery business is so healthy and happy to this very day and age. I believe currently, as I'm making this video, the lottery is set at 1.1 billion in America, and that's a little bit crazy. I believe it's the Mega Millions. Someone correct me in the comments. I don't know, but it is crazy that he thought that one singular man. He didn't have the riz. He didn't have the charisma. He didn't have the power. He didn't have the stature. He doesn't have the gumption to convince all these people to do so. He doesn't have the power to lead a nation with a microphone. Shout out to Flowbots Handlebars. Great song. If you haven't heard it, go ahead and check that out. It's an amazing song. As not sponsored, by the way, Flowbots. If you even have money anymore, if you would like to sponsor me, I can push your song all the way. I can do it. You can lead a nation with a microphone. I appreciate that. I love Handlebars. One of the great songs of all time. But I don't think that he had it in him to try to lead a revolution of all these people. He tried at the beginning. Freeze! All right, guys. What we're going to do is... Why'd you move? Boom! Get shot. I didn't know we were going to lose our lives. I told you. He's a nutbag. I hated that old man. The old man character. He was the worst character of all time. The one with the biggest debt, 100 billion. I believe it was something of that nature. He had some crazy debt numbers. It was absolutely psychotic. He was the worst character in the entire way through. There's always that one person, that super greedy person that believes one more game, just one more game, just one more hand, just one more, just one more. That's how they get you at the casino. They show you the money, so you can understand what you're losing, understand what you're going against, understand what you're going to have. That is diabolical. It's evil. It hurts me a little bit. Because if I was in that very same situation and I was lucky enough not to lose my life, would I as well continue the games? I have no idea. I don't know. However, the intricacies of the entirety of Squid Game Season 2, I felt deeply invested on the side boat story, knowing that the boat captain was actually working for the Squid Game people. They have so many ties and inner deep connections. There's so many extra little small parts and divots within the entire capus of the story. It's insane. The betrayals, getting tricked by player one again. Was player one the guy with the black mask? I imagine player one was the guy with the black mask. That's what I'm thinking. It is nuts and sicko mode and psychotic. It is insane and intense to witness this show. I loved Squid Game Season 2. Did it captivate me and leave me gripped and tight as much as Squid Game Season 1? No, it did not. Squid Game Season 1 left me with so many emotional highs and so many emotional lows that recreating that is a hard feat to do. Squid Game Season 2 was a little bit less than Squid Game Season 1. If Squid Game Season 1 was a 9 out of 10, Squid Game Season 2 would be a 8 out of 10 for me. If you're looking for a number rating of how I feel about the entirety of the show, it was one of those shows where it felt nice to have. The entire premise and idea feels like something that could happen in comedy America with the ultra rich that could possibly happen. It doesn't feel fake, and I think that's the beauty of what Squid Game is that the show doesn't feel unrealistic. People are crazy about greed. People are down on their luck. People would do this. If the rich got really bored, they would do this. We are now witnessing things like the Beast Games and how Mr. Beast recreated Squid Games. We're witnessing people see how fun the idea is, and they're putting it into practice, destroying and defeating the purpose of the entire show. But that is greed in America. People each have specific issues. I have a sick daughter. I'm in debt. I owe so much money to the mob. I took on up with loan sharks. Oh my goodness, I need money for surgery. I need this. I'm pregnant. I don't know what to do. There's so many different people with so many different issues. Think about that when you're driving home from work and someone cuts you off in traffic and you're mad at them and they're rushing home and you're wondering why they're rushing. Maybe they're rushing home because their wife is cheating on them. Or maybe they're rushing home because their dad is at home and they're rushing home to kiss their dad on the lips. Who knows what they're doing? Or maybe they're rushing to the hospital because they're trying to get to their wife and they're speeding through and they get into a car crash. Now we got to think about them getting into a car crash. Everybody has a horrible thing going on in their life. Pain is not unique. It is not. Everybody goes through it. Everybody suffers. Squid Game gives us a very good, realistic view of the inner machinations of the horrors of our lives and how terrifying they can be when compared to everybody else. The young girl in Squid Game Season 2, she didn't want to pass away. She didn't want to die. She said, I want to go home. And another man began to cry, saying, my family is ruined. You may have a chance, but I don't. And he clicked the button to continue the games. It was horrifying to witness, but that's humans. Entirety of Squid Game Season 2 is showed humans. And at the end of the entire season, they had a revolt. Player 4, 5, 6, Ji-hun, going against everybody, just getting everybody inspired. All to be betrayed. Yet again. Turned astray by player 1 yet again. The last player
and the first player. Almost symbolic in a way, how that operates and how that happens. I don't know if he passed away at the end of the series. I'm not sure what's going to happen to him. Maybe he's going to get tortured, annihilated. Maybe they're going to say, don't try it again. Just go home. You ruined the game, and that's okay. We just kept our money. Doesn't matter to me. Good luck. I don't know. But he is cursed with the burden of knowing the knowledge of morality. I hope that they don't win. And this is going to sound psychotic and crazy. I hope they don't win. I hope they don't win to show how horrifying it is to go against the ultra rich. I hope they don't win because not all stories have heroes. I think it'll be cathartic and poetic if they don't win. And they left us off on a very big cliffhanger. Squid Game Season 1 had 9 episodes. This one had 7. I don't know if it was because of budget restrictions or maybe it was because they wanted to make it more concise and fit in a deeper story and a narrative. I have no idea. I like when they changed up the games. That was a great aspect to show that they do have a bunch of other children games. That was phenomenal. I love that deeply. Starting off with red light, green light, just to trick player 4, 5, 6, or to get them into the aspect of playing games because that's a constant game. They're very proud of their giant mechanical woman doll girl thing. They're very happy about that. I love this. I'm going to tell you something very dark. The review is over, by the way. You can click off the video if you don't want to hear me ramble about this. So I hope you enjoy my review. Great series. Great season 2. When I was younger, this is very dark, so get ready for this. When I was younger, I wanted to bring humanity together. My goal was to bring them all together. I've never drank. I've never smoked. I've never done a single drug in my entire life. I know a lot of you say my eyes look yellow a lot of the time. No, my eyes aren't yellow. It's just the light aperture from the light. It's very yellow light that I use to get my highlights. I'm very tired right now, too. So my eyes look extremely tired right now. I've also been up for 20 hours. I had a dream when I was younger. I wanted humanity to come together for one single solitary goal. When I was in class, I was able to get all the sides together. I was able to be very charismatic and lead my teams together. I have never lost a team game when it came to schoolwork. I won most of my school projects because I was able to bring a team with me. I am very easily able to inspire people. I'm very good at it. I'm the perfect right-hand man. I'm not a leader. I'm a right-hand man. I enhance what you already are is how I operate. That's how I've always wanted to operate. And so what I thought was that if we had something to bring us all together, we could do it. My first goal when I was younger was to bring us all together. I could probably become president or maybe become ruler of a small place and have that place be able to accept all diversities. But I forget, and I encountered the first person who I couldn't change at 11. First person, I couldn't change their mindset. And I had to accept that because there's some people that won't listen to you. I learned from that failure. Something that every child has to learn is the deep, deep scar of failure. So I learned that. And I learned again and again and again, over and over. And I discovered that sometimes conversation doesn't always work. So I decided to be kind all the time, even if it doesn't work. Even if it ended my own life, I would be kind. Then I decided, well, maybe a disease could bring us all together because war didn't bring us all together. Maybe a disease of some sort. Disease didn't bring us all together. I got COVID would bring us all together. We found someone else to blame. We found somebody else to blame on the other side of the world. We blame Chinese people. The Wuhan flu is what they called it. Very racist in the way they phrased that. It was horrible and lenient. We're always looking for somebody to blame. And I had a thought when I was younger, and I still had this thought up until a year ago. What if I became the villain of the world, and then the entire world would hate me so that I could be the one thing humanity goes against? But even then, I would still have people that believed in me because I'm human, and people would understand. And that wouldn't work. I need nobody to understand me, and that can't work because people just want to be contrarian. They just want to choose the opposite for the sake of it. There is nothing I can think of to bring everyone together. And Squid Game shows me that. Humans show me that every day with the wars between the right and the left. X versus O. I want to continue the game. I don't want to play the game. I want to fight for rights. I don't want to fight for rights. I want to eat at McDonald's. I don't want to eat at McDonald's. It's always two sides. North Korea, South Korea. North Dakota, South Dakota. Ohio, Michigan. My team's better than your team. It's always two sides. Never nuance in the world. The world is filled with deep nuance all the time. It's everywhere, whether you want to believe it or not. It isn't right and wrong. It's always a middle ground. Always. In every situation. Even if you think there's objective wrong and objective right, there is middle ground even in that, because for that person to be objectively wrong, they have to find some logic in their own meaning. And I know you think it's evil what they do, whatever it is, but they feel like they're correct, so they think you're wrong. Thus, it's right versus wrong yet again, and you're fighting fire with fire with fire with fire. And in Squid Game Season 2, that is no more deeply emphasized in witnessing them fight over continuing a game for money and not continuing the game. I love Squid Game. It shows the horrors of humanity and the machinations of the world. And it shows me more ever so slightly that I don't have a way to bring us all together. And I've given up on trying to do that. I think that's a childish dream of trying to bring humanity together. And I really wanted to. Deeply, I did. But one day, maybe something bigger than us will threaten us, and we have to. Maybe pain is the only way humans will learn. Or maybe something amazing will happen, and one day life on Earth will be heaven. I love Squid Game.